Would you like to lose weight and keep it off permanently? Our next guest is a clinical psychologist who says she has the secret to ending yo-yo dieting for good. I'd like to introduce Dr. Candice Seti, author of Shatter the Yo-Yo, a definitive guide to losing weight and gaining self-control while ending your dependence on diets. And I love the cover. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All the way from San Diego.
All the way.
So this book obviously is close to your heart because this applies to you. You ended your own yo-yo diet and lost 40 pounds.
Yep, I did.
Talk about that a bit.
Well, like everybody else, when I first realized I had a weight issue, I turned to dieting because that's what we all do. That's what we all know. And it's an effective way to lose weight. The problem is that it's only effective short term. Once you go off the diet, you gain it all back. And I fell victim to that just as easy as everybody else. And when you realize you've gained the weight back, your initial thought is, well, let me go back on the diet because that worked so well the first time. And before you know it, you're in this yo-yo dieting cycle. And once I realized that was happening to me, I knew I needed to do something different. And I'm a clinical psychologist, so I'm naturally somebody who tries to look at our thinking, our behavior, and figure out what's going on there. So I used myself as a guinea pig to try and deal with weight loss in a different way.
And that's what inspired this book.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's move on quickly and talk a bit about how sleep is imperative to weight management.
Sleep is one of the things that we neglect, and it is so valuable in terms of taking care of our bodies and our minds for that matter. Sleep is when our body replenishes everything, when our hormones balance out. And there are all these hormones that are involved in weight management, and hormones like insulin, leptin, and ghrelin, and these are hormones that get replenished when we sleep. So if our sleep quality is low, all of those hormones are off, and those hormones influence our metabolism, our fat burning, our hunger, and our satiation. A lot of people don't realize that we have a hormone that tells us to eat when we're hungry and a hormone that tells us to stop when we're full. And if those hormones are off, it's a recipe for overeating. So simply having your sleep under control, having your sleep be of good quality, good amount of time, and putting emphasis and effort into that can actually do a lot more benefit for your metabolism and your weight than dieting can.
So get your sleep.
Get your sleep. Prioritize your sleep.
I think that's like the older we get, we think that we can control everything. It's like, oh, I can function off 4 hours sleep. Not smart. Okay, so let's segue into water, because you and I spoke a bit about this a moment ago. Tell us how water can help.
Water can help in a lot of the same ways sleep can, because hydration is a good way to just take care of every part of your body, which of course relates to your hormones, your fat burning, your metabolism, all of that. But there's behavioral ways that water can help too. For a lot of us, we have a very difficult time distinguishing hunger from thirst. So when our body is sending us signals to say we're thirsty, we go to food and we eat because we don't know the difference. And if we were to turn to water instead, we could eliminate so much unnecessary eating in our day. Water is also a great way to fill your stomach naturally, calorie-free, right? And so I encourage people to start every meal with a big glass of water and just fill up a little bit of your space in your stomach, so you don't feel like you need to fill that with unnecessary food. Which
to me is such a simple solution.
So simple.
Pun intended.
Yes.
What's that stuff that we put in water to make it flavor? I'm trying to think of ways to encourage people that don't like water.
Well, lemon is a great and easy one. Lemon and lime are great. Any fruit for that matter. Cucumber, you know, herbs. There are a lot of ways. You see spa water all the time, right? That's flavored with cucumber and basil and mint and all of these delicious things, and it's so simple. And it can help make people who don't like drinking water like drinking water.
You know who I'm talking to, those of you that are not fans of water.
A lot of them.
All right, so how can we change our relationship with food? Just quickly, because we're almost out of time.
Well, relationship with food really has a lot to do with breaking out of the diet mentality. Dieting is all about restriction and putting foods into these good and bad, yes and no categories. And that restriction ultimately creates kind of power with food. Foods that are restricted become the ultimate power over us. And so eliminating some of that restriction can go a long way to making us feel like we have control over food. In addition, developing mindful eating skills is a really effective way to change your relationship with food.
And we're going to give her contact info in a moment. Tell us about your special before we say goodbye. Oh, it's right there. There we go, a free guide to help shatter the yo-yo right there. So what does this entail?
It's a very simple guide that you can download that walks you through 10 changes that you can make to mealtime to effortlessly lose weight.
Wonderful. All right, visit the website also. The best way to contact Dr. Seti and to purchase a copy of her book. A big thanks to her and a big thanks to you. That does it for us. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.